Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Red Wine Talking. I haven't been here for a very long time, and I do apologize for that. But I think, as a lot of you know, there's been so many things happening with the COVID-19 climate and the vaccines and the deaths. So many people have lost so many people, and I haven't been myself. I've definitely been low-key depressed, and I haven't been like my jolly self. So it's been hard for me to come on here and express positive vibes and everything. I actually went and got a necklace that said positive vibes because I felt like I needed help to remind me that I need to stay positive through everything that we're all going through. So just hang in there, ladies and gentlemen, just hang in there. I'm your host, Red Wine, and I just want to let everybody know that, don't keep things all to yourself. Share it with people who you know can help you get through everything that you're going through. I think when we talk to each other, when we talk to one another, it helps us to get through everything that we need to get through during these unprecedented times, because they are. I want to jump right in because I'm never here for very long. Hi Sandy Johnson. Hi Ramdath. Hi everyone for being here. All of you that are here already, welcome. Hi Paul, welcome. And I wanted to just, talk about my normal topic, sex, because it's such a taboo topic. It's such a topic that nobody talks about. And I want to talk about it because here's a forum, here's a platform where we can talk about something that we all do every single day, week, month, year, however often we do get involved in our sexual relations. It's a part of life. We all love sex. So I wanted to talk about it. I want to keep on talking about it. And so I wanted to inform you. I came across a really interesting topic where they're talking about 50 facts about sex that we don't know. And one of them is about the fact that women have erections too. And I think those who are in tune with our bodies, we are very much aware that we do have erections. Some of us that are not in tune with our bodies, we do not know that. But just like how men have erections and all that blood goes into their Romeo, because that's the word I use, that blood goes to their Romeo and they get erect, I think a lot of it is happening with our clitoris as well. So I wanted to read what is it that I found. And it basically said, women get erections too. Women actually get erections in their genitals. And even though they're smaller than the male counterpart, they are just as important. This is according to Sadie Allison, a sexologist, founder on TickledKitty.com. I like that, TickledKitty.com. She's also the author of Tickle His Pickle, Your Hands-On Guide to Penis Pleasing, otherwise known as Romeo pleasing. The clitoris, she goes to say, the clitoris is made up of the same spongy erectile tissue as the penis, which expands and engorges with blood when aroused. You can observe this. Just look at your clitoris or touch it when you're aroused and it will be bigger. So I'm going to touch on my personal experience with that for a little bit because yes, I agree 100%. I can feel that my clitoris is a little bit more engorged, it's a little bit more enlarged, it's a little bit more erect when I am aroused. I have definitely noticed that because I tend to pay attention to my body And it's true, which is why I really loved this when I read it. I'm like, this is so true about the fact that women do have erections. I don't know, have any of you guys realized that? Have any of you guys paid attention to your body to that degree where you realize that women do have erections, that your clitoris is basically erect when you're aroused? It happens. Hi Harry, thank you so much for joining us. And I also wanted to touch base on the fact that they said that 3% of people have no sexual fantasies at all. 3% is a small amount, but I believe that because I'm not really, yes, I have, I might think about a sexual fantasy because I'm forced to, but it's not something that I would generally or normally or usually think about. So I thought that was very interesting. And it went on to say, you think you're a freak for thinking about freaky stuff? Nope. Even though most people don't talk about it, fully 97% of us have sexual fantasies, according to Justin, PhD. So, okay, 97% of us do have them, but 3% don't. And I think I might be one of the 3%. I'm very fulfilled at home. I'm fulfilled with my hobby. I'm happy with our sexual life, and I think that could be why I might be one of the 3% that don't have that sexual fantasy per se. So it also went on to say that the clitoris is way bigger than we think it is. In addition to the part of the clitoris, you can see there's a much larger part called the clitoral urethral vaginal complex underneath the skin that also engorges with arousal. I didn't even know that, and I'm one that pay attention to my body. I had no idea. So that was also very interesting to know. And it also said, Stella Harris is talking about this, an educator and a sex coach and author of Tongue-Tied, Untangling Communication in Sex, Kink, and Relationships. I may have to get that book. When a woman is aroused, the vaginal canal also lengthens as the uterus is pulled further upward into the body, the angle often changing as well. Not only is this fascinating, but it's one of the reasons that waiting for full arousal means having more pleasurable sex. Sex is the best when your body is ready. And I agree 100%. When you're waiting and all the arousal is happening, it is one of the most exciting parts of my sexual encounters. I love waiting, I love the arousal, I love all of it, and it just makes my actual orgasm so much more explosive when it does happen. Want an orgasm? Leave your sex on. And I could see how that could be real, because sometimes you're like way too cold to even get in the moment. You're not warm enough, so you can't get in the moment. Forget lingerie, it said. I know my husband is nowhere involved or aroused by lingerie. He's not. He likes when I get into bed with no panties on, maybe with no clothes on, and that is the best thing for him. And I think it's probably good for a lot of men as well. Why have to go to the lingerie? Yes, if maybe you're looking for a special night with your partner who you've had for a long time, or your partner that you just started engaging in sexual encounters with, yes, cute lingerie is nice, sexy lingerie is nice, but I think they do love when you're just open and ready and bare and naked and nude. I think they love that as well. What I thought was very interesting was a big penis won't stretch out or ruin a vagina. Let's not forget, I use Romeo for penis and I use Violet for vagina. So a weirdly popular myth circulating on the internet these days is that having too much sex or having sex with a large partner or toy can stretch out a woman's vagina and or labia, resulting in ugly roast beef flats. Wow, I like how they put that, ugly. So they also went on to say the vaginal canal is a muscle and does not permanently stretch from having accommodated a large penis or toy. The vagina is incredibly resilient and bounces back quickly. And I think that's why I've seen that meme around there where they said instead of telling someone to grow a pair of balls to do what is it that they have to do, why not say grow a vagina? Because a vagina is so resilient, very much resilient. So I like that, and I can so see how that is true. The Gspot exists, except it doesn't, it says here. The Gspot is a misnomer, as what we consider the spot isn't a discrete anatomical entity, Harris says. Instead, it's an area of the urethral sponge that is highly sensitive for many people. And I think that's what it is for me. It's highly sensitive. For many years during my sexual encounters with my hubby, it was all about the Gspot. And I had no idea where it actually is, but that man's Romeo was hitting this Juliet's Gspot, which really gave me orgasm after orgasm after orgasm. It's something that I wish all of you could experience if you have not already experienced. They also go on to say that bodies and arousal are complex, but there's no surefire technique or even erogenous zone that works for everyone. And I agree with that. I truly believe that's true. So basically, you may have a spot you identify as the G-spot, but it isn't a spot and it won't work the same for every woman. I've always said our bodies are different, which ties into this whole, I hate to bring up the COVID-19 and the vaccine, but we don't know how our bodies are going to react to the actual COVID-19 or to the vaccines that we get. Our bodies are different. Exactly what it's saying here, you know, very different. We're talking about sex more, but having it less. No bueno. No bueno. We need to fix that. Sex is mentioned in the media more than ever, but that's not translating to more sexy times. That is not good. Americans in relationships reported having sex 16 fewer times per year from 2010 to 2014 compared to 2000 to 2004. That's not good. That's not good. According to a 2017 study, it gets worse. No bueno. I'm sorry. Sex is a release for me, and I think it's a release for a lot of people. So, guys, have more sex. That is not good at all. It also went on to say that when it comes to pleasure, penis girth is more important than length. Very interesting. Many men like to compare the length of their penises, but the only people who really care about that number are other men. The vagina mainly is covered in stretch mechanoreceptors, which means that girth or width is a more important aspect of the penis, otherwise known as Romeo here on the show, for women on average. Nicole Pross, PhD, a sexual physiology researcher at the university, is giving us this information. She's a licensed psychologist. They also go on to say that the only thing fancy condoms turn on is your credit card. I agree. I was never into condoms. Worse yet, fancy condoms. Please, I want the real thing. I want the real Romeo. I want my Juliet to feel the real Romeo inside of me. I've never been one for condoms. Yes, we have to use them. Please, don't even take me saying that I've never been one for condoms to mean, well, you shouldn't use condoms. If you're having sex with someone who you're not normally having sex with, you need to use protection. So you need to use condoms, you know, to make sure that you don't get like sexually transmitted diseases, or that you don't get pregnant with someone that you don't want to have a baby with. That's very, very important. Also, more thrusting does not equal more fun. Is that not the truth? I agree 100%. Forget what you see in porn. Pounding or fast, hard thrusting does not turn most women on, and it can actually cause pain and injury. The most common place women experience pain during sex is a vulvar vestibule, just under the opening to the vagina, where a thin skin stretches. We don't want that. We definitely don't want that. It's very vulnerable to abrasion and tearing. We don't want that. Yes, thrusting is good at times, but that's not what we really want out of sex. No, it's not just about the thrusting at all. We, the sex therapists, are not kidding when we suggest not making intercourse the focus of sex. There are good physiological reasons for playing elsewhere for most of any sexual experience. And I can definitely attest to that. Definitely attest to that. I found out something here that I did not know. Men can orgasm without ejaculating. I had no idea. Surprise! Orgasm and ejaculation are two distinct physiological responses in men. While ejaculation generally does coincide with an orgasm, the two actually occur in rapid succession, with orgasm coming slightly before ejaculation and tampering off during ejaculation, says Zane Pillay, sex educator and author of Living an Orgasmic Life. Oh my God, I probably should have written that book, because I have lived an orgasmic life. Men can learn to differentiate between the two and to have orgasms without ejaculating. I totally learned that today. Learned that big time. Want to do better at work? Listen to me. Have more sex at home. I believe in this. I truly believe in this. Having sex might get you your next promotion. And no, we're not talking about sleeping with your boss. It turns out that having a happy, sexy life was linked with improved job satisfaction and greater engagement at work, both of which can help advance your career, according to a study done by Oregon State University. I truly believe that. Truly believe that. When I'm home here and I'm having a lot of sex with my hubby, because you know it goes in phases and stages. You know, sometimes we're not having sex often at all, and sometimes we're having a lot of sex. And I go into work, I perform much better. I do. I'm happier and more satisfied. So I truly believe that. Men suffer from low libido as much as women do. I believe that. I believe that. I believe it happens with older men. I believe it happens with men that might be stressed out and men that might be having issues in their relationship. I don't think for a lot of men it's just sex. I think for a lot of men, even though they might not admit it, there's a connection. There is a connection that's linked to the actual physical intercourse. So what it went on to say is men are always up to sex anytime, anywhere, and with anyone, right? Not only is this myth flat out wrong, but it's also incredibly damaging to both men and women. Stephanie Bueller says. She's a licensed psychologist, certified sex therapist. The fact is that in practice, the number of couples complaining of low sexual desire in the male partner is about equal. Couples need to accept that it is perfectly normal to have mismatched desires and to work out both sexual frequency and ways of initiating sex that works for them. Quick story, the other week hubby and I were talking, and we went like a few days, like a few long days without having sex, and then we talked about it the next day. He was at work and I called him and I talked about it, and we were saying, well, I thought you did and I thought you wanted and I thought you did, and I said, well, I thought you did and I thought you wanted, and I was trying to accommodate you and he's trying to accommodate me. So this just says how right this is, right? There's no right time, and that's why communication is very important. So I also wanted to talk about orgasms, use it or lose it. I'm going to be on here for a little bit longer because I love this content. I really do. Orgasms, use it or lose it. I like that a lot because I believe that's true. I have experienced that. I'm going to read what I found, and then I'm going to give you my little experience on it. File this under scary sex facts easily, right? It's rare, but it's possible to lose your sexual sensation if you go for long periods without sex. There is a medical condition known as clitoral atrophy, which occurs when the clitoris doesn't receive enough blood flow, causing it to retract into the body. Penile atrophy can also occur, although it's less likely to do with lack of sex and more often caused by aging or injury. So this also went on to talk about the fact that women could have multiple orgasms easily, and we just don't know our bodies. Hi Josh, welcome. We just don't know our bodies. There are many times, let me just tell you one quick minute, many times when my husband and I are having sex and I have an orgasm in, no time whatsoever. But I can feel like if another orgasm is coming on, and I remember many times saying to him, oh my God, babe, there's another one coming. Should I go for it? Because my orgasms are so intense. And again, I think I've told you guys, sometimes I want to call 911. Sometimes I feel like if my heart is jumping out of my chest, it's pounding so hard. So sometimes I don't want to go for the extra orgasm. Sometimes I go for the second one. Sometimes I go for the third one because I'm so aroused. But you have to know your body. I can feel when that second orgasm is there, which is a lot. I can feel when that third orgasm is there, which happens many times. And when I go for it, I'm done. When I decide to go for it, sometimes I tell him I'm going for it. Sometimes I don't have to because it's coming so fast, so rapidly. So you have to pay attention to your body. I think a lot of you have orgasms in there. I'm going to leave you guys with that. A lot of you have orgasms in there. They say that a lot of us women, we can't have an orgasm unless we're having other types of sex in regards to penetration. A lot of women have orgasms through other ways of sexual encounters. I honestly prefer penetration as much as I can have orgasms during oral sex, as much as I can have orgasms during foreplay. I think what we should do is simply pay attention to our bodies, because the orgasms are there to have if we're just able to let go and let it be and just be in the moment. I think we can very well do that. You just have to pay attention to it and let your body go to all of the pleasure that's there for you to have. That being said, I'm gonna wrap up. And I'm also going to say to you guys, because I hate to ignore what's going on in the world today, I think we do have something to celebrate in regards to the conviction of Chauvin, in regards to a lot of that that's going on. Yes, there's a lot of deaths going on, and a lot of our people are being killed. I think we just have to move on and pressure on for the justice, for the accountability. That's very important. We can't lose hope. Hope is all we have, so we have to keep shooting for it. And I know sometimes we get so like down and depressed and negative, and we're so upset with everything that's going on in the world today, but we have to keep hope alive. We have to. And we have to actually, that accountability word, we have to be accountable for a lot of things that's going on in our lives. Forgetting what's going on in the outside world, but also in our inside world. We have to be held accountable for what we want and we don't want. We have to set the boundaries. I posted something earlier on and I said, you know what we allow will continue. I truly believe that because I've seen it through all of my life, and that's in everything. That's in relationships, that's in work, that's in your family life, that's in your marriage, that's in your partner, that's with everything, in work, in everything. What you allow will continue. We know what we want and what we don't want. Discuss it with whoever it is that might be affecting that. What we allow will continue, and what we allow to continue will escalate. Believe me, that is true. I've seen it many times. Set your boundaries. Say what you want. Mean it. Mean it. Express what you want and need. Make sure everyone else is also communicating what their wants and needs are, and figure out how you're going to meet halfway. Figure out what you're going to do. If you need a therapist, if you need somebody to help you through that, then do that. But boundaries are very important. Very. Life is too short to be living a life that you don't want to live. Okay? So thank you so much for joining me. Again, I'm your host, Red Wine. We talk about sex for the most part. We talk about Romeo and Juliet. We will continue on to talk about relationships because sex is part of relationships. We can talk about stuff that's light and frivolous, stuff that's fun, and we will try not to get too serious unless we have to. You know, we want to lighten up everything that's going on around us. Thank you so much for joining me. Once again, this episode and every episode is sponsored by Budget Blinds. Don't forget that. Check us out for your window coverings. That's why we are here. We give free consultations. So just call us up. We'll come and show you what is it that we have, and you can tell us if it's what you need. Thank you very much for joining me again. Take very good care. Do what you have to do. Do what you have to do before you can really do what you want to do. That's very important. Thank you very much for joining me. Love to all of you. Hugs, hugs, kisses. Take very good care, and ciao for now.